Welcome to another episode of Two Ales at Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 29-year-old from Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. His hockey journey has taken him to USA, Hungary, Germany, and Wales. Another Wenatchee Wild, drafted 7th round of the Chicago Blackhawks, had himself a time with the Portland Winterhawks, WHL first team All-Star, played 75 playoff games, quite a few, and was a WHL champion. And he seems to have captured the hearts and minds of Cardiff Devils fans all over Wales. And before that was a Lausitzer Fuchse. And he is best known for loving Twix. Welcome to the podcast, Mac Carruth.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
That's an intro.
It actually happened, eh? So they threw Twix at you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess it was a little delayed. I had DuPont's kid on my shoulder the game before. But,
someone wrote to me that a kid had gifted you one. He didn't chuck it at you, but the next game they chucked it at you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't believe that actually happened. So shout out to Evan Mosey, episode 61 and 79.5. He was the one that got that ball rolling, eh?
Oh, geez. Yeah, just stirring the pot constantly.
So I guess we get into how we know each other, and that is people are chucking Twix at you now in Cardiff. And you are in Cardiff now. So where are you, the Bay or downtown?
We're at the Bay. Yeah, we got, I would arguably the best view out of anybody. Maybe not as good a view as Pennath, but we're looking right out at the locks out there and beautiful out today.
It is. Cardiff's a nice spot. And you were in Whitewater before that? It's a pretty nice spot too.
The old vice versa.
So did you learn any Russian?
No. Yeah. Well, if I spoke to any of the older folks there, yeah, probably. But we enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it does get a bad rap in that league, but we were there I was there for 2 straight years during COVID. Like, I didn't go home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
it's a bit of a home away from home for you, eh? Vice versa.
Yeah. The wife went back and forth a couple of times, so she got to get out of there a little bit. But I enjoyed it. The people there made it for sure. Like, there definitely wasn't much to do around town, but the people that were around us, the equipment manager there was really good to us and invited us to things. Yeah, if you're not there for hockey, it's tough sledding.
Yeah, you got to be a hockey guy. And I think they got a new rink, though, since I played there. Is it not a new rink there?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, actually. Yeah.
You probably don't know about the rink that was there before, though, eh? Like, not the rink I would have played in, but then there was like this old rink built into the ground, like in a crater, and the ground was the seats, right? And they had built in seats into the ground. You probably don't even know about that. It was behind the old arena. It was like the Coliseum of hockey.
No, that league's got some questionable barns, though.
It sure does. Yeah.
Show up and there's only two walls. I didn't think that was a thing in pro hockey, but
it is a thing in Germany. Yeah, like Krimichau, gorgeous rink.
Krimichau, Bad Nauheim,
Kaufbeuren.
Kaufbeuren. Oh, Kaufbeuren's got a new building too.
Really?
Yeah, same builder, I think.
As Weisswasser. They're putting up 4 walls now, or what?
Oh yeah, all 4 of them in a roof.
Beautiful. Yeah, people must like that. So I guess so Cardiff has 2 import goalies now, eh? We used to not have any. Now they got 2 of them. So how does that work? Are you guys like, does the coach tell you like the day of the game, the day before the game? How do you know when you're playing?
Lately he's been going day before. It's been kind of trying to load management for both of us right now, as big of an NBA term as that is. But
are you doing the NBA?
No. I'm not there yet.
Who's doing it this season?
I believe just Mickelson.
Only one guy.
I thought there was going to be more, but he's pretty smart, so I don't know.
Yeah, all the guys that go to the Met are really smart.
He's like crazy into finance and stuff, and listening to him on the bus is
that right?
Puts my mind in a pretzel. So
yeah,
I don't know if I'm ready for it.
I understand. Okay. So your first experiences in Cardiff have been good though, eh?
Unbelievable. Yeah. Wife loves it. She's making friends outside the rink and going to Coffee Co, spending my weekly salary, all that. No, but it's been good.
Coffees are expensive in Wales. You start going to those Costa places, it's like freaking what, 4 pounds of coffee.
Oh yeah. And then she's Canadian. So like I've been telling her like that's like $20 Canadian there if you spend two pounds here.
Yeah. Well,
Ends
you
up
know what?
monopoly money up
We haven't had a love story on the pod in a while. So where did you meet the young Canadian gal?
there. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little story. It's a little old school,
Beautiful.
and there's no apps involved, things of that nature. The young crowd here, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of apps
Enjoys
making
that.
things happen for the boys, eh?
So my goalie coach in Hungary is from Calgary, and I was training with him there after the year. Was meeting him there, and typical American, just totally spaced that it was Canada Day, July 1. I drove up July 1 a day early, get in there, places bumping. I'm like staying downtown at the Hilton there, downtown Calgary, and I'm starving. I get hangry. Like I need food bad.
Everybody does, yeah.
And so I played in the WHL like you had mentioned earlier, and every time we went to Canada it was Earls. All we ate out was Earls. Back in the day it was Earls for the girls, but
She was the waitress, wasn't she?
yeah, no, I wish. No. Go in there and there's no spots. Like the guy's like 35 minutes minimum. I'm like, oh, okay, well, can I sit at the bar and have food? He's like, yeah, if you can find a seat at the bar, no problem. And this other young man came up and like was walking towards the bar, and I gave him one of the biggest forearm shivers of my career to get to this one bar spot that was open. And just so happened the young lady I ended up marrying was sitting to my left. And it was Canada Day. She likes to have fun. So she was getting after it, and they offered to
getting in one, you could say.
Yeah. They offered to share their pitcher of margaritas with me, which is very nice of them.
Yeah.
And
that's how things can escalate.
Yeah, she doesn't like when I say it very much, but it was the most expensive free drink I've ever put down. And then the rest of history. We went like 3 straight days to the Stampede after that. And
oh dear, yeah, that sounds like love.
I was happened to be leaving for Hungary in like 3 weeks, and obviously we spent like pretty much a week together there. And so I'm like, hey, if this thing wants to keep going, I'm going to a camp in Florida before I head out. So if you want to fly down to Florida for a week, see if this thing's gonna keep going. And then thank God she did. She flew down to Florida and hung out with the boys down there with me. And
so you guys are kind of like, you guys haven't really set up a home base then if you were in Vice Foster for 2 years, eh?
No. And then I'm from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is
so that you're not from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Well, I was born there. That's what it says and everything, right? But
Wyoming?
Yeah, unless you got about
a lot of hockey happening there.
My old man runs a rink in town, so we can get ice whenever we want. But yeah, not a lot of hockey going on there. So I was there until I was 10. We played youth hockey till I was 10, and then family pretty much picked up things so I could kind of
keep going after hockey.
Yeah, so we moved to Minnesota when I was.
So the 10. Old man had to transfer his job and the whole thing.
Oh yeah, everybody, sister, mom. Oh yeah,
everybody's all in for back, eh?
10 years old. Yeah, no pressure at all. So we moved to Minnesota. I try out, make like the Pee-wee A team, I think at the time or something like that. Big kerfuffle in Minnetonka because everyone's pretty political in Minnesota, right?
And the goalie that would have been on that team, show up into town and you're like, hey, check out my shit. Oh boy, those parents with little Johnny would have been so upset, eh?
Mismatching pads left, right, and center. It was tough sledding for my style for a bit there, but he ends up running the rink in town too there. And then eventually I leave home at 14. And as soon as I left home at 14, they mass exodus back to Jackson Hole. So.
And then he had to transfer his job back.
Yeah, transfer his job back.
So what was he doing? What was his job?
So he works for a company that for a while, like when I left home to go to Chicago, played mid AAA out there, and they would just take rundown buildings, which maybe they need to start doing out here, and some rinks we've played in out here, but they would take rundown barns and spruce them up, like put some money into them, hire a manager for 2-3 weeks. Dad would train him, and then he'd be out, and they would sell it back to the community or back to whoever.
Cool.
So they're just sprucing up event centers and ice rinks and stuff like that, and getting out of there.
Well, it's interesting hearing the story that the whole family up and moved their whole life. Because I'm in a tough spot here for kid being good at hockey. Is AAA is not close. Cities aren't close. But I just picked my squad yesterday. So big day. The Kincardine Canucks are assembled, and we are ready to start the season. And I can't wait. We got a great group of kids, and they worked really hard this weekend. So shout out to all you fellas that just made the team. We're gonna have fun this year.
What age group is that?
Under 11. So it would have been
Nice.
Adam. Yeah, we're a major minor together. So
Nice.
pretty big deal.
Yeah. How many? Everyone playing goal still, or
no? We got a great goalie, Knox.
Great name.
Yeah, Knox. He's gonna run amok this year as our goaltender. I think we're gonna be a great team with that. But it's all about the goalie, really. And we got a high-end goalie.
Back out.
Yeah, so that's how you win championships is goaltending. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, so anyways, today's also my old man's 66th birthday, so shout out to him. We're going four-wheeling after this. That's why I'm up so early. Got to fit these in when you can. Okay, so did you know Scaldy before? How did you end up in Cardiff? How does the connection work here? Did you know him?
No. I talked to Scaldy. Honestly, it was just kind of a long summer for me. We thought it was going to be pretty quick. We were supposed to be heading to the Dell from what we've heard, like, because that's why I went to Weisswasser to get my passport.
Do you have it?
No. I
was
wish.
Gonna say, geez, you'd just be counting your cash if you had that.
I know, it was just a license to print money, but all those teams tell you they have an in with the government and whatnot, and they did have an in, and they waited, and the lady retired before she could help me out.
Oh dear.
So
do you have some kind of German in your background?
Yeah, my mom's super German. Not super German. Her great grandfather's German.
I think it cuts off at grandparents, eh?
I think that's in the UK. Yeah, but like we were trying to get the nationality thing going.
Yeah, no, I know players that get over there and get that done. A fella from around here just left to head to, I guess, Castle to apparently he's going to get his passport and be a big German star.
Yeah, that's what they had a guy there last year. They told him he'd get his passport right away, and he's there the whole year, just waiting.
Like Weisswasser always built their team on signing a really good goalie and then not having that much of a team around him. So you must have got some work in Weisswasser, eh?
Yeah, we had a tendency to get outshot for sure.
Well put.
It was good, like the boys like to get after it in that league post game and stuff, so could get your frustrations out at the bottom of a bottle of something. Bottle of some Weiss beer.
Can du sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch?
Deutsch is a bit scheiße.
That's good. You're in an English speaking country now, so
scheiße Deutsch.
Okay. That's okay. You weren't there long enough to really dive into it. So I guess we should get into this. So actually, you're in Cardiff Bay. Ever been to Eli Jenkins?
No.
I wonder if it's still there. It was right by the like Tesco little pub by the bay. It's where I wrote my thesis. I really got to know the people in there.
All right. Yeah. I'll ask Dixon. He's kind of the
social leader. Yeah. I could see that. He seems like quite the dandy. He was on here too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So have you been to Chippy Lane?
I've seen the aftermath of Chippy Lane late night.
Lovely.
Yeah, just a lovely crowd there.
Yeah, it's awesome when there's like grown adults like shitting themselves,
it's a tough bounce for some people. They had some tough nights.
They work hard. Yeah, yeah. They really get after it in Wales. Those Welsh people can really do her. Okay, so we talked about your minor hockey a bit. Wild story, but you got to Portland and your team was awesome. It looked like you had. I wrote down here: Bjorkstrand, Seth Jones, Nick Patan, Leipzig, Ryan Johansson, and Ty Ratty. Just some of them.
Just a few of them. Yeah,
It's a heck of a team.
We were pretty juiced. Tyler Wotherspoon on the back end too. We had some Chase Delio. You'd kill me if I didn't mention him. He's a Instagram little guy there. Instagram.
What's his name?
Chase Delio. He was based out of Cali there. He likes a good Instagram post. But
nice. I'm a big Instagram
we
guy
were
now too.
We were loaded. I was very fortunate to be on that team. I came from Wenatchee with Mosey, decommitted from school after 48 hours of being in Portland. That was a bit of a debacle. I think we went like 10-0 my second year there in Wenatchee, and I got a call from Duluth saying, you're going to have to play another year of juniors after this year. You're not going to come in as a true freshman.
So you were going to Minnesota Duluth?
Yeah. I committed like right after my 15th birthday. So I was real young.
Holy shit. For college.
Yeah. It might have been a bit of a mistake, but committing me that early. But went for an official visit with the parents, and
I guess they need to do that then, or else you go to the WHL, right? Like that's when you got to make that decision. And if you don't know that there's something there, then you're going to go to the WHL, right?
Yeah. Or like, they're signing kids at 12, 14 now. It's insane.
Holy moly.
So was committed there for most of my career in Wenatchee, obviously. And then went 10-0. Thought like, what do you mean I'm coming back again? Like I'm pretty much done all I can do in this league type of thing. Me being a young little cocky POS. And the agent thought the same thing. He's like, well, your rights in the WHL are owned by Prince George right now. So maybe let's not leave. And then somehow a couple weeks later, they dropped me and Portland picked me up. And agent was all of a sudden really interested in me leaving. He goes, yeah, you got to go in and tell these guys to start negotiating to like give your rights to Portland. Like, okay, young little 16-year-old Mac Carruth, 17-year-old Mac Carruth going into the Paul Baxter. I don't know if you know that name.
Into the Brass's office. No, I don't know these guys.
He's got 68 career NHL fights and about 67 losses.
Sounds like my fight card.
he could chuck him, but he just happened to pick the wrong guy, let's say.
He was willing to do it.
Yeah, he's a pretty intimidating guy for young Mac. And I went in there probably 3 or 4 times. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. Like, you got to start negotiating. Like,
this is with Wenatchee?
This is with Wenatchee, yeah. And every single time I left there, I put my mind in a pretzel, which isn't hard to do. And he's like, well, I think you should decommit, like pick a different school. I'm like, no, like this is like we're deciding, blah, blah, blah. And I left there like being like, I don't know what happened. Call my agent, like, I don't know what's going on, man. Like I leave there and somehow I'm still here. I don't know. So eventually he's like, well, do you know anybody in town that could come in with you? And I was dating this girl at the time, Taylor Telford. And eventually
Taylor Telford.
Oh yeah. Her father came in as my lawyer to the locker room post-practice and went in there. Like my agent called him like, hey, this is what you got to say, blah, 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 like just kind of lay it down for him.
And then the guy would twist you around and you'd still be there.
Yeah. So my ex girlfriend at the time's parent went in there because my parents aren't there, obviously. Sat down in the coach's office. I just stared at them both, like watching this conversation go down.
Yeah.
And then I went on a 2-week hiatus from everybody while the negotiations going down. Didn't go to school, didn't go to practice, like went on strike pretty much until they figured it out. And Like that was it. They were asking for something absurd, like 20 grand from
And
Portland
and
because of draft.
Wenatchee would get that, or the other team you were with, the Prince George or whatever it is.
I think it's Wenatchee was asking for 20 because that's like the NHL kickback if you get drafted in the first round or something. And there was no way I was going first round. Like coming out of the NAHL, like there's no way they're taking a first round goalie like that. But that's where I was projected after 10 games or something stupid like that, like which obviously would change. So they're asking for 20. And Portland's like, there's no way we're paying 20 for this kid. So I'm sitting there just waiting for this whole thing to play out, and eventually it played out in a crazy way. Like my billets from when I was 14 chucked in some money. It was wild. So eventually I got out of there, took I believe it was a 10-hour drive from Wenatchee to Portland, or 6-hour drive from Wenatchee to Portland, something like that. And got there. Mike Johnson, one of the best coaches I've had, meets me at the gate. He's like, "Hey, like, how long is your drive?" Like, "Oh, 6-7 hours." "What time do you wake up for? Just want to be here for practice." He goes, "Oh, you don't have to practice today." "Oh no, I'm getting on the ice, getting after it." And I think day one, the goalie coach had to press me up against the glass because I was freaking out on someone for deacon during a warm-up drill or something.
Oh, you're one of those goalies. You don't like that shit, eh?
Oh, just respect my first drill, and then I'll respect the rest of your practice.
I remember one of my first pro practices. I think the goalie was Ty Conklin. We're playing rebound, and I overstick handled in front of him, and he did not like it. And then I learned, don't you got to shoot it in a timely manner when you're playing against NHL goalies. Yeah, he scared me that day.
There's a time limit when you're playing rebound,
Okay, so I heard that you can chuck some knuckles. I saw a picture of you about to punch a guy in the face. So you'll chuck knuckles, will you?
Yeah, that's quickest way to get things figured out sometimes,
But sometimes you just need to, right? Just has to happen, right?
Yeah. When you can take a few punches, it's a little bit more enticing. So
I agree, actually. Until I got punched in the head, I didn't realize it wasn't that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, not that big a deal.
No, you're right. I got beat up all the time if I ever fought. That Bjorkstrand, though, I mentioned his name. His old man in Denmark was legendary for his training and whatnot. Was that kid just giving her too?
He came in pretty much shape when Portland, like he was ready to go. I think I played against his old man in the Ebel. Like he was coaching, I think maybe in Graz or somewhere. That
sounds right. I played against him in Denmark.
Okay, yeah. And then I heard horror stories from this guy's training.
Yeah.
Like running and all sorts of like half the squad's not making the first game.
He goes through imports, man. You want to feel special as an import, but he doesn't think you're special. There's lots of you out there. That's the rumor I hear.
Yeah, there's a few guys kicking around like that still.
Hey, by the way, is your agent David Monty?
Yep. Yeah, that's the man. The myth, legend there.
He's going to be the first agent on the pod, folks.
Oh, he's got some stories.
I'm sure he does. We haven't gone that angle yet. We haven't had an agent on yet. So
dark side of hockey.
Yeah. Those guys are always making deals. Okay. So I think I got this, but anyways, your time in Portland, then you finally get there, and then you guys just run amok for 4 years. You play your first year. I saw you played like a dozen playoff games. And then after that, you played over 20 playoff games a season.
Yeah, I think I'm not for sure. I still hold the record, but I took the record from Braden Holtby on most playoff wins, I believe.
You played a lot of playoff games. So you won it once, and then the other years you must have been close.
We lost in game 7, I believe, once to Edmonton, game 5 to Kootenay, and then game 6 to Edmonton.
So which year did you win it?
My last year, like 2012, 13. So
you had lost 3 years in a row in the finals, and then you finally pull her out the last year.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
And all our horses were gone.
That's when you won. It was
not all our horses. I don't want to say that. We had Tyrati, Barchi, Bjorkstrand, the Patan and Leipzig duo. So we were still pretty well stacked for sure.
Yeah, they must have been doing some serious recruiting. That Seth Jones is a pretty decent hockey player, eh?
Yeah, yeah. He yeah, he was didn't he should have been the AHL or something at that point, even though he wasn't drafted, but he was a man.
Yeah. So then you win it in junior hockey. Do you guys get to floor it after you win?
So we were in Canada, I believe.
So it's only
We were in
19.
Sask. Well, oh no, sorry. For when we won the championship, sorry. So we still have the Mem Cup, right?
Oh, right. So you can't really floor it.
And we're in the States too. And I think I turned 21 in March that year because I'm an overager at this point. It was the year of the lockout, so I got sent back like a couple months into the season.
Yep.
So yeah, I was one of the only guys that was 21, and I think on my birthday, my God rest his soul, my billet at the time took me for a Coors Light at like a really fancy dinner spot, like downtown Portland, like up in like kind of like a
ritzy area.
A ritzy area, and took me out for a super nice meal and goes, "You got to have a beer with me," like one of those billets. And I okay, like I got a game tomorrow, like a Coors. So I had a Coors Light at whatever, 6 o'clock on it before a game. That was my first pregame beer.
Yeah, you gotta see if it works for you. Everybody got to try different things to see how you play well.
Not the guiltiest of these games I've ever played, but
one Coors Light shouldn't affect too much.
No.
So I guess then basically then the lockout ends and you were drafted 7th round of Chicago. So then you signed an entry level 3-year deal then? Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, I signed an entry level there. Unfortunately burned a year of my contract with the lockout and going back to juniors, which is a tough pill to swallow in the wallet side of things. But yeah, really enjoyed my time in Chicago. Like I was there for 5 years, something like that. Or 5.
So a lot of it was with Rockford in the AHL, but your rookie year, I saw you played for the Toledo Walleye, 25 games played, but you also played 7 games for the Florida Everblades. Ever been to the Lani Kai? You've been to the Lani Kai?
Oh, I've been to the Lani Kai. My first ever pro rookie party was held in Florida.
By the Lani Kai on the Fort Myers beach then?
Legs and eggs at 9 a.m.
Legs and eggs?
Legs and eggs. So I got there.
What are the legs?
We're at the Rippers. 9 a.m. Rippers.
I love it.
I get there 3 days prior and like I fly in. All right, you're playing tonight. I'm like, oh my God. It's a whirlwind. I just packed up my life in Toledo, which isn't saying much, and put it in my truck. Just bought a brand new truck. Thought it was just nails.
Yeah, oh yeah. Entry level deal.
I'm not leaving my brand new Raptor in Toledo for 3 months.
No.
And packed that with all my gear. And I'm like, all right, so what's the plan with my truck? To my agent, he's, oh, you guys are on a northern swing next week. The coaches will come pick it up and drive it back down to Florida for you during the trip. Because they're flying up, busing all the way down, like back to Florida. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But anyways, so I get there 3 days prior to the rookie party, and I've already paid for either one or I think I paid for one in Toledo, got called up the same day, never got my money back. So of course the captains in Florida call the captains in Toledo and find out if this is true. Like, yeah, he paid, blah, blah, blah. Just let him have a time. So unbeknownst to me, you have to be in a Speedo the whole day.
Really? At your rookie party?
Yeah, Speedo. Yeah, all day at the Lani Kai there. But the party bus
I can't wear Speedos.
You up at 9. You go to Legs and Eggs, get a nice little base in.
Yeah.
We have the little handles of I think Fireball was like kind of the hot topic at the time. All the rookies that have finished their little little cups of Fireball before we got to legs and eggs, and I think I might have ended up on the pole more than the women that were working there.
Okay, do you think you're a better dancer than me?
No, definitely not.
Okay, I just
There's a
want
lot
to
of
clarify that. I've never met you, but
there's a lot of hair involved here
okay, yeah,
everywhere. It's just
that
not a
happens. As you get older, it starts growing in different places, and you just
yeah,
can't contain it anymore.
yeah. Even at 21, it
Is that right?
wasn't a good look with the thong on.
Um,
So
so I'm just curious because I never didn't really look at it. This Florida Everblades team, it wouldn't be the team that like Lee Salters and they were on, eh? No.
no, we had forget his first name, but Tyson Gibson.
No, I'm a whole different generation
Maybe.
than you, I
Yeah,
think. But
he
it's
was good.
I'm glad to hear that rookie parties are still happening at the Lani Kai. That's fantastic.
Oh, it was something.
I'm sure it was. So
I've
you
seen
started at
I
9
haven't seen
a.m.
nothing.
That's a long day, man.
It is a long day. I think I got a cab back to I was the first guy back at midnight to the old ranch there. I
Yeah.
was
So
out of it.
it's a whole different thing living in the coast playing in Florida than like Daytona Beach, Ohio, you know?
Yeah, well, they time it perfectly. It's all the college kids come down there, right? In March.
Oh, geez. Okay. So you did play in Toledo. Why did you go from Toledo to Florida? Like, so you're with Chicago and Chicago was just telling you where you play that day?
Yeah, so we were back then. It was Toledo was split between Detroit and Chicago, the team, like the affiliate there, the East Coast affiliate, and it just was not working out. They'd been pretty poor for the last few years, so Toledo, obviously being way closer to Detroit, just dropped Chicago. Or that this was going to be their last year, the year I was there, and we were bad. We were really, really bad. Like I think I don't know what the complete stats were, maybe 10 wins there. Had a real good goalie partner in Mac Carruth, who played a few games in the show for Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a win till after Christmas, like January maybe.
With Toledo?
With Toledo, like there was not another goalie that won a game there till Jared that year.
That's really fun. That'd be a fun year.
Yeah, it was tough, and I think our coach quit, then became our GM, and it was just a weird situation.
It was one of those years that's just awful. Yeah, I get it. Losing sucks. All that stuff sucks when they.
Yeah, it was tough. It was my first year pro. It was just not a good start. I think I got in the first month I was there. There's so many injuries in Chicago that I had 12 transactions within the first month.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see something like the East Coast rosters. Like when my research team's hot, and there's like each East Coast team will have like 8-9 goalies on the roster.
Yeah,
it's fun times in pro sometimes in North America. So year 2 then. So you're in the coast and you play 7 games at Rockford your first year. I guess when you get to pro, usually teams have an idea what they think of you, how much they're going to play you, where you're going to fit in. I think it's the same with goalies. Like they know before you get to camp, like who's in the AHL, who's in the East Coast, and where they're going to start you and see, right?
Yeah, it really doesn't. Contracts have a lot to do with it there, right? Like,
yeah,
you could stand on your head in training camp, and
doesn't matter.
You're all under contract, right? So this guy's going to end up here. This guy's going to end up there. So
yeah, it's not like U11 tryouts here in Kincardine, folks. It's not about the contracts around here. It's all about the kids and what they put on the ice, eh?
Back when the game's fun.
Yeah, that's right. No politics around here, folks. Okay. Indy Fuel. I think you might be the first Indy Fuel guy. Where like that is that Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, yeah.
That's year 2. You're playing 39 games there.
Yeah.
Good spot.
It was a great spot. Yeah. I forget the name. It's not downtown. I think it's like Bourbon Street or something like that. But there's like 3 or 4 colleges within like a 15-minute radius of that place. And it is a time.
When there's schools around, universities, it changes your whole dynamic of a hockey season, doesn't it?
It is wild. Yeah.
We didn't like Dayton until we found out Dayton
there.
University was there. Huh?
What's that?
I said we didn't even like Dayton until we found out Dayton University was just around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll change things. Shane Owen was my goalie partner there. He's the goalie for Fife.
I've skated with him in the summer with the O'Reillys around here. He's a competitor too.
Yeah, yeah. Me and him were a tandem there, or him and I were a tandem there, and yeah,
So
it's
when
pretty.
it's two goalies that are that competitive, how does that go?
We actually got along pretty well. Unfortunately for him, I was on an AHL deal, right? So you kind of get the benefit of the doubt no matter what. Yeah, he was good enough to get an AHL deal. It's just the way things are, like we
Oh
were talking
yeah.
about previously. But he's done well for himself over here. So
You said he's with Fife now?
I believe he's with Fife. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know he's with Fife. I played against him. So
Well, in the AHL that year, you only got 3 games played, but you had a 1.69 goals against, and you even played a playoff game. And it's like what we talked about. It's like when you're the goalie and they decide where you fit in their organization and where they tier you, it really doesn't matter. You can get called up to the AHL and get 3 shutouts in a row, and you're probably still going back down to Indy.
yeah, I got sent down on the bus ride back of my first shutout, I believe, from Chicago Wolves.
Told you.
Played pretty well, 31 shots or something weird like that. And
Send his ass back.
some of the boys stayed in Chicago, like one of those trips where you can stay and like get a bus back the next day. And I was on the bus back, and GM called me up to the front of the bus. Hey, great game today, Mac. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, you're going to be in Indy tomorrow. They want you playing down there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when the coach asks for you, you better send those boys down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just
God.
there's almost like the Portland Winterhawks of like the goalies that are in front of me. I had Michael Layton, one of the best goalie partners I could have asked for. Scott Darling was there. Antti Ranta. I don't know if you ever heard of that guy.
And then I guess Crawford would have been the Blackhawks goalie, right?
Crawford was the Blackhawks goalie. Yeah, there was just a slew. Like Lars Johansson came from the Swedish Elite League my last year there. He was the Swedish Elite League goalie of the year, like 2 years in a row. It was just, and then
what a meat market, eh?
Yeah, just here you go, Mac. You can sit behind these guys for a bit.
Yeah, just go to legs and eggs and enjoy the day, right? Okay, so then year 3 is not really your entry level deal anymore, right? You're signing a new deal with the same organization.
Yeah, I'm now, because I burned a year, so my first 2 years were entry level, and then now I'm on a kind of earn your way type of deal.
So what is it, like an AHL one way?
Yeah, I think I started the year in the AHL one way, played well enough towards the end where they made me sign another one. So then I was on my 3rd contract with them, even though it was my 3rd year.
Yeah.
So I just had to sign a 2-way at the end of the year so I could go Black Ace for him in the playoffs.
Well, that's cool. So you were a Black Ace?
Yeah. And I missed I was supposed to get called up like a few days prior and get like a little bit of show dough.
Is that right?
And just the communication wasn't there or something. I don't know how exactly went down, but the communication wasn't there. I ended up staying in Rockford and staying on my A deal. And then I ended up missing the charter to St. Louis that year because during practice. No one told me I had to pack up and go to Chicago.
Or else you would have gone up to the NHL and made NHL money?
Just for like a day. Yeah, like I was supposed to be up there.
Better than nothing.
Charter, obviously, right? And yeah, the communication the ladder didn't quite work out the way it's supposed to. And the GM comes flying on the ice in Rockford and Mac. I don't know what I did. Maybe I yelled at some, who knows? I was scared. And like, what's up? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well,
practicing.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? You're supposed to be on a charter in the NHL right now. I'm like, oh, yeah, no one told me.
That would make your heart jump. You're supposed to be in the NHL.
Well, sweet, but yeah, I got nothing for you. So yeah, I went to St. Louis. That was the year they went like back to back, like 2 OTs in a row in St. Louis. And then the Rockford guys ended their year. And then I think Jason LaBarbera ended up taking my spot as a Black Ace. But
I just move guys in and out, eh?
Yeah, ended up going home after that series. But
yeah, no, the AHL is quite the lifestyle. So I guess, yeah, I got that written down here. The up and down lifestyle. So like, you're a few years in North America, man. You're playing on 2 to 3 teams a year. You're up, you're down, and it's like, it's a weird life, isn't it?
It's crazy. Like you're not really on a team.
You're not part of a team at all.
Like,
You're part of an organization.
yeah, if you have girlfriends or whatever trying to fly
Not the
in,
life for them, folks.
no, it is not. It's like I think I got rid of a few gals that couldn't quite figure that one out. Not that they were the right fit anyways, but they would get a flight, and as soon as someone booked a flight, whether it be my parents or my girlfriend, I was either getting called up or sent down. There was no, it didn't work out once. And you find out real quick, get the insurance for your flight so you can get it back.
Yeah, the relationships in the minor pro North America just don't seem to work out all that often because, like they'd book a flight to come visit you probably, and by the time they get there, you're like, well, I am now at the Lani Kai in a Speedo. And legs and eggs, folks.
Yeah, legs and eggs. Legs and eggs, and igniting our night with some Jack and fire.
Hairy guys and Speedos. Okay, well, your third year though, I got written down here as your biggest taste of the AHL, and you had a .926 save percentage. I'm not much of a goalie guy, but I know that's pretty good. And Indy Fuel, 25 games played and a .918 save percentage. It's a pretty good year though, eh?
Yeah, kind of getting settled in a bit. It was nice. It was good.
Yeah, you're getting a little more comfortable in pro and getting sent up and sent down, and
yeah, kind of finding my way. A lot of mental skills coaches and stuff involved that year, if I remember correctly. Peter Aubry played. He was a Cardiff Devil. He was my goalie coach that year.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he seemed to find a way to get my head clicking the right way, so that worked out well. But
I think the mental coaching thing, it's not something I ever had, but like when I look back on my career, there were some things mentally where if someone would have just talked me into having confidence, or when you're getting to the AHL, like believing in yourself, like there's a lot to the mental side that if you don't have her clicking, you're not going to play well.
Oh yeah, I think every NHL and AHL team now has a full-time psych on board. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, they should probably have one on board for me. I'm getting up at 5:30 to do podcast, folks. God. Anyways, year 4, all AHL, so you don't go to the coast year 4. So are you on an NHL AHL deal?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then you're like, you've been with Chicago now for a lot of years, and then with the meat market you've described, you keep going back to them for more though, eh?
Yeah. I think there was a few summers there where we didn't sign till late. And I had opportunities to go PTO somewhere, and then soon, like similar situation to the girlfriend thing. As soon as I was about ready to leave for a couple PTOs, Chicago would call, hey, we'll offer you this. I would call the place I was going to PTO. I'm like, hey, I got an offer. Like, could you guys match it? Because I really just want to get out of here. Like, nope, got to see you play first. I'm like, got to take that guaranteed cash, right? But looking back now, I wish I would have bet on myself once or twice there, but can't go back now.
Well, even though like when you talk about it, like organizations have like 5 goalies usually on like an NHL deal, right? And if you show up on a PTO, like we've talked about, you can stand on your head and get a shutout, and they're like, well, thanks for coming, heck of a tryout, you did well, but like you literally couldn't stop any more shots, right? They're just not going to take you.
Yeah, it's tough to bet on yourself in that situation, but yeah, me and my ex-agent got in a little bit of a tiff over the whole thing. Couldn't get a hold of him for 2 months when I was trying to find a contract. Couldn't get a hold of him to fire him.
Really?
Yeah, had to call the front office of the agency and be like, hey, I kind of made something up in my head that if I can't get a hold of him this weekend, I got to move on. And as soon as I did that, a week later, I had a PTO in Providence from him. So I'm not sure what happened, but and then PTO in Providence, they didn't have any cash, and went to Hungary, but it was a ride.
So yeah, and like I see when you make the decision to go to Europe is like you've given her you've tried to make it, and they have their guys that they just would have put in front of you, and there's not much you can do about it. It doesn't matter how well you play. So then after that, you do go to Fehervar. Fehervar?
Sekish Fehervar. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Hungry, man.
Czechish Fehervar.
Sekish Fehervar. Yeah.
Okay, so how does that deal go down? How do you end up in Hungary? Who gets that done for you? Because like there like we've talked about, there's a lot of goalies. There's not that many import jobs in the world, and when goalies are playing in Europe, there are not many goalie jobs in the world.
So I picked up Dave as an agent, obviously, after I gassed my other one, and Dave started looking right away as soon as I was in Providence, and offers started kind of coming in. And Fehervar, Mark Byzantine was there. He played World Championship or World Juniors and stuff. Like highly touted guy. Ran into some injury troubles, and just was kind of over it, I guess, ready to move on. Like a month into the season out there, which is a bit strange, but that was my opportunity. I went into the office of Providence, say, hey, listen, I got these guys offering me. Like, are you guys gonna be able to find a spot for me here, or what's the deal? And they're like, we're not gonna be able to pay you. We don't pay guys, right? But so take it. And I was super grateful that they were honest with me. They didn't keep me around. But I went to Fehervar and had a great showing first year.
This is where the Twix starts.
So in Hungary, it might even be in Austria as well. I'm not 100% sure, but in Hungary for sure. After the game, there's these little like sports bars that they sell out at all the stadiums that they chuck onto the ice, and they're kind of trash. Like they're just bad candy bars.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even think about it like previously that, but like fans would throw them at you and put them in your glove as you're walking off, like through the tunnel and stuff, and like whatever. And halfway through the year, I think it's like Christmas, Jeff Lavecchio, who's now my trainer, he's playing with me at the time.
Vecs is your trader. I was gonna bring him up because I saw he was on the team. Like, what an animal that fella is. He was episode 2. Yeah. Did you know that?
What's that?
He was episode 2.
Oh, no way. So him and
I went on his podcast, the Hockey Think Tank, and having me on there, I was like, what a great experience. I got to talk about my past. It felt great. I was excited to do it. My kids and wife could listen to it someday. Probably won't, but they could. And that's what made me think of this idea, was old Vecs, man. He inspired me.
He is a beauty. Love that guy to death. I haven't seen him since he left Fehervar, but like we got in touch. I was looking for a trainer, and he's obviously super into it.
Judge me if you want. Woolen Shop, Brown Ale.
No free sponsors, I thought.
Bayfield Brewing Company. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he took over as my trainer there after he left, after he retired, I guess. He's done so well for himself out there. Crazy. Proud of you, Vecs. If you ever listen
way to go, buddy. You're the best.
So he was the reason the Twix all went down, because Christmas happened and they do like the little spoofy, who's the Grinch, who's the Santa Claus, who's whatever. And we were losing quite a few games, so Grumpy Mac started coming out a few more times than probably should. And
losing sucks.
Yeah, losing is not fun. I'm a real good winner, not a very good loser. So he goes, yeah, like Mac's kind of grumpy or whatever, and maybe if you see him on the street, I know he likes Twix, like maybe give him a Twix and a hug or something like that. And so like I'm like, oh, I saw it on there. I'm like, oh, great. Sure is. Whatever. The next game we went at home, about 300 Twix start this litter in the ice. So, and that was kind of
you do realize this has only just begun in Cardiff, right?
Oh yeah. Until Todd gets upset about the cleanup out of the ice.
It's not up to him. He doesn't get to control this. Should have been 2.3% owner, Todd.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get Twix all over your ice because I'm not an owner.
Oh, he's been great here for us. But yeah, the Twix in Fehervar, and then the owners of the rink there, they have a little kid, Bense, he would wait in the tunnel with me. He'd have like king size Twix. I'd have all these little Twix, and we'd like do a little exchange. He doesn't speak a lick of English. I don't speak a lick of Hungarian, but like we're constantly messaging back and forth between his mom, and my wife and him are always sending gifts back and forth. So
that's cool.
It was a great experience there for 2 years. An absolute trash bag of a barn.
Is that right?
But just like so much atmosphere. Like I loved it there. It was like Manchester, but everything worked.
Like, like in the arena, you mean?
Yeah. Like like the ice was good. It was like just cold, like dungy type of building.
Well,
like
they're fans of the pod now, just so you know. Fehervar, they're fans of the pod now.
Fehervar.
Yeah. Once
they're
we
doing
started
well,
chucking
top of the
Twix.
league. Congrats, boys.
What are they?
Top of the league in the Ebel, or the Bet at Home Ice Hockey
Oh
league.
dear, well done, gentlemen. That is one of my questions though, is food in Hungary. Vecs said something about what's it called? Goulash. What's going on in Hungary culinary world?
I can't say that I dabbled
really
too much in the Hungarian.
You're just eating at home. You're just putting in your frozen pizzas and just doing your normal thing.
So it's so cheap to live there. Like, and that's was one of the draws, right?
Yeah.
Is they play in forints out there. They play in monopoly money a little bit out there. And so you go to breakfast for 1,000 forints, which is $4 US. Coffee, eggs, bacon on the walking street. I lived on the walking street. It was great.
So Fußgänger zone in Germany.
Oh yeah. So the last 2 months I played there, I didn't have groceries in my house. I just went out to eat every breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I think I spent maybe $30 a day, maybe.
And you're eating at great restaurants, right?
They're not bad. There was like an import couple, or I call them imports. They're from the US that owned a business there.
Yeah.
And they owned a Mexican joint there. And I went there every day and I ordered the vegetarian burrito with steak. So it was like kind of got the most.
I'm starting to get to know you. You like to do the same things. You like routines, don't you?
Yeah. So I would go and order the same exact meal every time. And it was 16 buttons or something they were telling me. So eventually they just put the goalie burrito on the menu there in Fehervar. That was my claim to fame.
Really? There's a goalie burrito and
goalie burrito. Yeah, just there's a button. There's just goalie burrito.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When you go spend half your salary there, you get a little something.
I understand. They almost named a doner kebab after me in Germany.
Holy old doners.
Oh man, when they started calling them yufkas, and then they roll out the the dough fresh, and like then they're putting it in a pizza oven, and it's warm and it's cozy and it feels right,
The old post-practice doners. Love it.
Like €3, like
maybe. Yeah.
Best lunch ever. I got to know every Turkish fella in town, no matter where I played.
There might have been more doner shops in Weisswasser than like grocery stores.
Than poof houses. Sorry, the German guys were telling me that in Weisswasser, there's guys that would sneak over the border to Poland.
Oh, the Poland little, that's quite the.
Instead of using apps, they would say.
Quite the little scene over there.
Is it? I don't know. I only would show up in Weisswasser, play a hockey match, and head out. Right.
I would only assume, like, I've never been driven over the border of Mexico, but I would only assume like the shanty town that is on the other side of the border is the exact same. It's like just a tin. You look out, you drive over the top of it. It's just tin roofs stretched out, and it's this little shack selling different things.
I tell you, it's that Weisswasser place, man. I know we've touched on it briefly, but like it's different in East Germany compared to West Germany. Like I was getting some of the history before one of my games, and Weisswasser had a team that played Berlin on the east side of the wall, like 80 games a season. There was only 2 teams in the league, and they played each other over and over and over.
Won a few championships, though.
Yeah, I mean, you had a 50-50 shot going into it. But seriously, I think they played like each other like 70 times a season.
Yeah,
you'd almost hate each other by the end of that.
Yeah, we were very aware of that. They let us know.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a history buff too, I guess. But yeah, okay. So anyways, we're in Fehervar, and you guys are about 500 it looked like, eh? So are they a big budget team in that league, or where they sit budget wise?
I think they are now. From what I've seen, they got a new sponsor like a couple years after I left, Hydro or something like that.
Sponsors change everything.
Yeah, especially in that, like pretty much all of Europe except for from what I've seen here.
Yeah.
It's more bums and seats from what I've heard in this league.
Yeah. I would agree.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you could have like nobody in the building as long as you have sponsors in mainland Europe, you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah. And like
Which is
Beating
strange.
Heim, our sponsor was Porsche, and they were doing really well until they weren't. And then the budget went down hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they're in the DL, and I guess they're probably doing well again. You
Yeah, I
know?
wish I would be in the DL if they would have not gone 3 in a row there. It would have been nice. I was supposed to go to Castle this year.
You
If
were
Castle
supposed to.
won, it was going to be a tandem between Kuhn and myself. But then
Jerry Kuhn, a former Bronco himself.
yeah, we were supposed to be a tandem, but wasn't meant to be.
Interesting. Yeah, it's very when you're making decisions and signing contracts, and there's that little window where you know once if you're not talking to any teams, it seems like nothing's happened, and then as soon as you start talking to one team, then all of a sudden the other teams come out of the woodwork. Next
Oh yeah,
thing you know, you're like making decisions that will greatly affect the rest of your life within hours, right?
yeah, yeah. You're waiting for a team to either win or lose. A game is very nerve wracking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. It's hard when you're not in control of things. Okay. So Hungary was good. You guys had fun. You played with Vecs. So he's your trainer still remotely? Like you're doing his app thing?
Yeah,
Train
he's got
Heroic or whatever?
Train Heroic app. It's
Shout out
actually
Vecs.
great.
Free ads for you, buddy, because you're the best.
Yeah, he's got he likes to videotape himself. I think there's a few videos like
Really likes his biceps too, doesn't he?
yeah,
Like I see him just putting stuff
just
on Instagram of
clouds,
him. Yeah, just flexing his muscles and like looking at the clouds with his biceps. And I'm like, geez, man.
Yeah, he doesn't like shirts, that's for sure. But if you look like that, all the power to you.
I love shirts. I feel yeah.
No, he's been great. Like obviously super into it, but yeah, he's got me to where I need to be most years here. So
Who's down there? You got a dog.
oh yeah, a little husky.
So you
Yeah.
brought your dog to Cardiff. I had to make the decision to leave mine at home because the price was too much.
That's a money grab and a half there, but yeah.
I when I went there, I had like a half Rottweiler, half Lab. It's a pretty big dog. So we had taken him to Germany every year, but then the UK, he had to stay with my parents because it wasn't feasible.
It's wild.
Yeah. So you got yours over there, eh?
Yeah, she's a psychiatric service dog.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Understood. Okay. So then how do you leave Fehervar after 2 seasons? Because like obviously you got a good relationship if you're you and the owner's kids are dishing out Twix and the fans like you. So why do you leave?
That was my first team in Europe. Looking back, probably would have done it a bit differently if I could go back and do it again. Got into it a bit with like how professional things were, like coming from AHL and stuff like that, and these things weren't as professional as I'd want them to be. Probably would have handled it a bit differently had I known like
how bad it can be.
like Europe just kind of
there's teams where it's just not professional, right?
And there was a few incidents where the truth will eventually come out, but I don't need to air it out here, but
fair enough.
But just a few incidents where just things that weren't done properly, like in and outside the locker room. And I think both me and the organization just kind of said, you know what, like this is what you expect.
To move on.
Yeah, this is what you expect, and we can't guarantee that's gonna happen. And you're asking a lot of your teammates and of us, and we can't really be dealing with this right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what all goes on around there, but anyways, it's fun that this whole Twix thing is happening. That just
Yeah, no,
like literally yesterday, man, when I wake up and you know what you do, you wake up in the morning, you hit the toilet, you open your phone, and then you see that you're getting Twix chucked at you because Evan Mosey's talking to me in my shed. And it's just like, it just warms my heart. I feel like I'm back in the game. I feel like I'm a part of it again. And thank you to all the Devils fans that made that
oh
happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah, the boys liked it.
Oh, they
Maybe
would
a
have been
little
having a
early
laugh, eh?
onset diabetes for me, but
Oh man, yeah. So I guess the boys wouldn't have known that was coming all of a sudden Twix. So they're like, why are there Twix coming on the ice?
yeah, I had a few explanations for a few guys, but yeah, I gotta
Okay,
start watching the pod, boys.
that's right. Yeah, get involved, folks. All these new guys, I don't know. You can all come on. See how me and Mac are getting along, right? Okay, so how do you get to Vice Foster? Is that David and Monty sending you to Vice Foster? I'm gonna have to talk to him about this.
Yeah, you should probably have a chit chat. Well, like I
He
said,
probably knows about Vice Foster. I bet you he didn't come visit you there.
he did.
Shut
He
up.
did. I
He
was
went to
very
Vice
impressed.
Foster.
Very impressed.
Did you
He,
take him to the nicest restaurant in town?
yeah, it was next door to me, I think. Yeah, in my building, maybe even.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
the way we were talking, and since I've been with Dave, he's been asking about heritage and stuff, right? And my mom looked through the family tree on ancestry.com, and she pretty much her entire family in the 1900s or before from Germany, right? So they thought they could do something with it. If we would have done it right away, I think I might still be there. We might not be talking, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
just signed a 2-year deal. They're like, well, it might take a process here for us to get you a passport. And for the first year, it was, oh yeah, should be coming. It's coming next week or next month. I heard it's on the process. And then sure enough, all of a sudden in summer, they're like, hey, can you fill out this paperwork and tell me who this is in the family tree? Tell me who that is. I'm like, well, that's my mom right there. So clearly you guys haven't been working on much.
Yeah. You haven't done anything.
Yeah, you haven't done anything. And, my mom, bless her heart, spending whatever it is, $200 a month for premium ancestry.com. And, we're sending documents over, getting them notarized. And
I feel like she'd be more than willing to do that if the whole family uprooted themselves to head to Chicago for
very,
you or whatever.
very, very nice lady, the nicest lady in the family for sure. But yeah, it was a bit of a mind, put my mind a bit of a pretzel some days, but they treated me well in Vice Foster, so I can't say too many bad things.
Yeah, when I was in the second league in Germany, Vice Foster always signed a really good goalie. It was Boots. Jonathan Boutin was his name. And he would get a lot of shots every game. And he was really, really good. And I would think, geez, man, if you just go to a different team, you'd have way more fun.
Losing is not fun.
But they got great fans there, eh? They're passionate. They are into it.
Yeah, we had a tough stretch there, obviously. Like most teams in Vice Foster probably do. I think they're doing pretty well this year, but we had fans come down to the door of the locker room, outside, start pounding on the door. There's maybe 12 to 18, and the cops were in their vans up top, making sure it didn't get too out of hand. And after a tough loss or something, I'm already upset. The wires are crossing already. I'm rolling out, just trying to breathe through it at this point. And someone comes in, tells our captain, hey, the fans are out there. You gotta go talk to them. And he's like, nope, not doing it. And I perk up like the guy in Letterkenny, who's the toughest guy in here, get that one going. So I'm like, I'll go talk to him. And I went out there and talked to him, and I got the crazy eyes going and everything, and fly the door open, and everyone just kind of, hey, Mac, good game. And in the German accent, I'm like, I was hoping for a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah. You want to come at me? Yeah.
I wanted a little bit of some confrontation, but they weren't having it. But we talked for a little bit out there, and everyone kind of went their separate ways, and it was fine. They just wanted German fans, they just want to be involved and want an explanation as to why things are the way they are.
German fans are they're different than say the UK fan bases. Yeah, like if you lose a couple games in a row, they actually will call a meeting and be like you need to explain like why we're losing and what's happening, like right.
Yeah.
And then the coach will be like, well, we're gonna skate more. We're just not in shape. So then you go to practice and just get bagged so he can tell the fans, well, we did
Well, they'll do
this.
it on. They'll like put it on social media and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at these
All the
guys. They're
tricks of the
puking on
trade.
the ice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you were there 2 years. I understand it now. It's a 2-year deal. They suckered you into a 2-year deal because of the German passport. Now I get it.
Carrot in front of me.
Carrots. So was the coach that Nielsen that used to be in Nottingham?
Yeah, Corey Nielsen. Yeah.
So he was the one that recruited you then?
So yeah, him and Dave are like decent buddies, or like Dave's his agent as well, I think, maybe. And like you said, they just needed a goalie. And I was available at the time.
Yeah.
We had waited for a different team and they just finally fell through it. And then I was kind of without a spot, no import spots available. That was the only one left. Went there. Corey, obviously, most guys in GB know him for coaching the national team here. He's a bit of a character.
I only know him from like when he coached Nottingham, and I was playing against him, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed him because you kind of know where you stand, right? Like he doesn't
play games,
doesn't beat around the bush. He's gonna, if you're trash one day, and he's just gonna, yeah, you're trash. Like that's fine with me as long as straightforward, whatever. So
yeah, just be honest, and yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so then Weisswasser, what was there to do around there?
Not much. There's a few lakes there. Like in the summer, we spent the summer there. My wife and I.
Yeah, you were there year round, eh?
Yeah, so we were there. That's what we started to do, is sign contracts where we stay all summer, so we can see the area a bit.
And you don't have a home base, so you may as well just enjoy where you are.
Yeah, and she loves traveling and going to coffee shops and doing the whole European thing.
So do I.
We've been enjoying. Yeah, we've been enjoying it. But yeah, the equipment manager there came really close over the summer. Like he would invite us to like bingo nights and watching soccer games and stuff at his girlfriend's house and things like that. So we got pretty close with a few people around town, which is
that's
nice.
what makes it feel like home, right? Is once you start, you got people that like it's a Friday night and you got places to go, right?
Yeah, and it got to the point where like I could somewhat understand conversations in German. I just couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't speak it. You could understand it. Du kann verstanden, aber du kann nichts sprechen gut.
Yeah, nichts sprechen Deutsch.
Yeah, aber du verstanden. You can understand it.
It's different too, right? Because then you got guys from Bavaria in your locker room,
and they talk different, right?
Teaching you different words than like
the Russian German.
And like you're saying stuff in the grocery store, and you're like, and if you don't say it like
just right.
Germans are good people, but like if you don't say it perfectly, they're gonna act like you're speaking
a different, like you're not even trying, and you're like, I'm trying here. I'm trying to speak your language. Can you please meet me halfway? If I'm trying to say I want mayo with my fries, don't think I need to say mayo. It's mayo, not mayo.
Mayo mit pommes, yeah.
And if you say it mayo instead of mayo, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, you do.
We had our COVID test at the end. They were flying out, and we have to answer all these questions. My wife and I, and the guy doing the test, like, "Oh, you guys have been here for 2 years?" And in German, after he asks us in English, and we go, "No," or "Yeah, we've been here for 2 years," turns to his partner and goes, "They've been here for 2 years and they don't speak German." And I like understood this in German. I'm like, "Nope, we don't." And he was just like,
yeah. Oh man. No, it's tough. Yeah, I know once I could speak German though. Well, pretty good. I wasn't like totally fluent, but like when I could basically do everything in German, it made life over there way better.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they do understand you, right? But when you're first trying, it's like it ruins your confidence when you're trying to speak German and then they act like they don't know what you're saying. You're like, well, I'm done trying, right?
Yeah. Well, it's, yeah. And
Then
you
you
go in
get
the locker
seven,
room,
eight beers in you, and you're
same
like,
exact
let's
thing.
talk German.
Yeah. You go in the locker room, you go, hey guys, I said this to the grocery store lady. They're like, yeah, what was the problem? Well, is it right? They're like, yeah, perfect. Well, apparently not.
Apparently not. She had no clue. Sorry for burping in the mic at 7:09 a.m. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it was bizarre when they would pretend they didn't know what you're saying, even when you were trying. And it's like, well, why am I trying if you're
Yeah. No patience over there, but that's okay.
No, but it's just a whole different culture and different lifestyle. And I thought Germany was awesome. Did Weisswasser have like big beer tents, big beer halls like
Um,
Bavaria?
it's hard for me to say because like it was COVID, like
Oh, right.
right after the year was over.
God, I keep forgetting you
Um,
young bucks are dealing with that stuff. Yeah.
it's a bit trash. But they're protesting in my home in the Weisswasser, which I enjoy. They were driving around at 10 o'clock at night past curfew, everyone honking their horns, probably like 400, 500 cars down the main drag. It's great to see.
They were fighting it, eh?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So then I guess you play out your 2 years, but you're living there the whole time. So you're still living in Weisswasser when you signed the deal in Cardiff?
No, so we left after the year, after the final year there. We just stayed through the 2-year contract. We stayed a little bit longer, but then we were home in Jackson, Wyoming. We had
Wyoming. Where's
yeah,
Wyoming?
12 hours south of Calgary, straight south.
Oh, it's way out there.
Yeah. We had our wedding. So my wife's Canadian, and so in order for her to get back to the U.S. With COVID, she needed to be either married to a U.S. citizen or a U.S. citizen. So we're having our wedding in the U.S. and as of like a month from us leaving, she couldn't get into the U.S. because we weren't married yet. So we got married via Zoom.
Shut up, hazy sunset. Are you being serious? You got married?
Swear to God. Yeah.
You know what? It can be the home of podcasts. It can be the home of weddings. This whole thing is just it can change lives.
Oh yeah. So we oddly enough got like an officiant from some app and out of Salt Lake.
So you are using apps.
Yeah. we technically got married in Salt Lake where I was born. I spent 24 hours, but yeah, so we got married via Zoom. Both our families Zoom called in. Like
and you guys are where? You're in Wyoming.
In my apartment.
You're in Weisswasser getting married on Zoom?
Yeah. In my apartment, Eastern Bloc, Germany, just having a time.
And this is why, folks, you wake up at 5:30 in the morning to podcast because hockey players' lives are totally fucked.
So that was the only way we could get her into the U.S.
Oh God, yeah, no, and my buddy, he was crossing the border to go get married to the States, and the wife's like, "Let's go, we're going to get married," and they're like, "No, you're not. Like, you don't have the paperwork." And then all of a sudden, they couldn't actually get married. We're at a big wedding, and they're not actually signing the paperwork, but everybody there thought they got married.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we were married prior to our ceremony that Mosey came to. Like Mosey
was a good dancer. I bet you he's more of a talker than a dancer.
Oh, definitely more of a talker. So he was one of the only non-family members invited because we had to downsize everything because none of the Canadians can come. We're gonna have another like barbecue ceremony in Canmore, Alberta.
Is that where she's from?
That's where her parents are at now. And actually, the owners of the Cardiff Devils might make a showing. My wife had a few pints and a few gin and tonics in the VIP and when the owners were in town, and they might have invited themselves or she invited them. I'm not sure how it all went down. But
well, when you get those guys involved,
Steve King might be emceeing my wedding, second wedding in Canmore.
Yeah, no, and like he'd be a good pick. Like those guys they're fun. They treat you well. They like when you've played like you did in the minors in North America, in the coast, in the AHL, and the way you get treated, and then you go to Weisswasser or Fehervar, and then you get to Cardiff, and And these guys, like, they treat you the way it should be in any business, but like for some reason in minor pro hockey, people think they can treat hockey players quite poorly, compared to like the real world. And those guys come in and they're like, no, we're going to do this right. We're going to treat you with respect. When we give you a deal, we're going to pay you the whole thing, and it's going to be what we say it is. Nothing is going to be hidden. There's no family heritage looking through the family tree trying to figure out where you fit, because they are doing what they say they're going to do, right?
Oh, we hadn't even stepped foot on a plane yet to get out here, and the amount of stuff Katrina and Todd and obviously the owners are behind everything, the amount of things they did for us was absolutely incredible. Like, and they're like you said, their expectations of you are just to perform on the ice, and anything outside of that, if you need anything, they're there to help. On my wedding day, Todd called me, and like we were just downstairs with the groomsmen just hanging out.
This is the Zoom call and vice versa.
No, so Todd called me and I answered, and he's like, "Hey, like, can you do this, this, and this with the visa stuff?" Because we were still working on our visas. Visas were a junk show this year for everyone, like all the imports in the league. And I'm like, yeah, like I'll look into it tomorrow. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I go, well, it's my wedding today. And Todd was just floored that I even answered the call on my wedding. He's like, call me back in a week. I like, can't be answering your phone on your wedding day, blah, blah, blah. But him and Katrina, the front office there, have been incredible. Like, we can't say like enough about how we've been treated here. It's been
well, and like, I know I pumped their tires way too much for not being a 2.3% owner, but like, I almost was. And like, it's because of the way they treat people. And like, when you show up there and they do all those things for you and they treat you the way they do, it makes you want to play better. Like, when you have a bad game, you really feel it, because you're like, look at what they do for us. Look at what we have here. Look at the life we're living. Like, we got to win for them, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, I feel more pressure playing for this organization than I've felt in years.
And you know what? And that's the culture they've built, right? Is because when I was there, that was not the case. We were just going out and just being dandies, but like, they've built that culture that like, we win.
Yeah, no, and that's what Dave and I talked about like before signing. I was like, I just want to win. Like, put me somewhere where I can win. Like, I've been in organizations where we haven't been great. Like, put me in a place where I go, and he's like, I got
Whitewater, Lausitzer, Fuchse.
I got the spot for you. Let's go. I'm like, all right, perfect.
Yeah, no, and you guys are gonna have a time. I don't know the new guys. I'm too removed from that age group, but what's this Brody Reed fella seems to be scoring some goals. I see his name a lot.
He's got some nifty little hands on him.
Is he a little fella, or what is he?
Oh, I would say he's about 6 foot, 6'1". Sorry, reader, if you're over that.
One of those bigger, good-looking guys, eh?
Yeah, he's a bit of a looker. Yeah.
Jeez. I hated you guys.
Spot, actually, now that I think about it, you got some decent-looking human beings.
Is that right? Scaldy was recruiting some man rockets.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to. You guys have to come up to games and maybe see. Who knows?
Well, no, you're doing pretty well for yourself. You look like you don't need any apps.
Yeah, we got Batch is probably our best looking guy. He's got just a set of flow on him that just
6 foot, like 3, chiseled, quiet, nice, like, and he doesn't even like realize that he's good looking. He's one of those guys.
Just got the flow going though. It's just unbelievable.
Really is. Yeah. No, I know. I wasn't one of those guys. Nobody turned their head when I walked in the bar. Except my wife's. She's okay. I don't really know what else I have for today, other than like, I'm really looking forward to seeing how much Twix hit the ice, and like just watching Cardiff keep rolling. Cause like, when the game ends, like for guys like us that are hockey guys, and like, this is all we've done our whole lives, like, I'm just so happy. I feel like I'm a part of it again. And like, when people are throwing Twix at you because of Evan Mosey, and it's like, I'm like part of hockey again. Like I'm part of the game again, right? And I couldn't be happier.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it was good to fans seem to enjoy it, and that's part of the thing here in Cardiff. As long as the fans are having a good time and coming to games and stuff, we'll do whatever. But
It's
yeah,
pretty cool. You're back and
Mosey's stirring the pot
fans.
as usual. I didn't even realize he scored 3 goals or 2 goals on me when we played him. I was so upset after the game when he texted me. I was like, I didn't text him back for like 3-4 days.
Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't either. Yeah, no, it's fun playing your buddies. So I'd rather play my buddies than randoms.
Yeah, you get a little more. Well, for me at least, I get a little more a little more hatred during the game.
A little more juiced up.
I'd be playing against my grandmother. I still want to beat her 8-0.
I got issues, man. You should see me in pickleball around here.
Oh, you're a pickleball guy.
Oh yeah, I just crush these old folks around here.
Oh, I love a good pickleball.
Dude, it's a fun game, man. You played pickleball then? Finally, somebody on the pod that's played pickleball. It's a good game. It's like stand-up ping pong, and you're running around, but you can still spin it.
Leaking.
Oh, but like singles is too much for me. I'm more of a doubles guy now,
Oh, I go doubles, but I'm just a sweater.
Are you? You're hairy and sweating. You're hairy and sweating. That's a tough combo.
Yeah, it's a bad combo. Like a wife wants me to get Botox in the armpits. I don't know if I have that in me.
What does that do?
Stops the sweating. Apparently, I don't know.
Botox in your armpits stops sweating?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound healthy. I feel like you're supposed to perspire.
That's what I said to her. Like it might come out somewhere else. What if it comes down my lower back? I don't want that.
Or even further down.
Further down. I didn't want to say it. I'm really glad you went there.
Yeah, no, I'll do that for people. I'll get you there.
My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, was like, he's from London actually.
Botox in your armpits. I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay, go ahead.
He was a collegiate tennis player.
Yep.
So I'm playing against him in the summer just for like cardio type stuff. And this guy's just hitting line after line after line on me. I'm not getting frustrated at all. So like I was
you don't mind losing. I understand.
Yeah, no, I was pretty calm. I was calling him like very nice things,
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I it's like the guys is like in the neighborhood here. We get together. One guy's got a tennis court, so we get together. It was during the summers. It's like Tuesdays or Thursdays we do, but we get together. There's like 6 to 8 of us, and we have a couple beers and play pickleball. And like they're all just like, yeah, like let's play and smile and have fun. And I'm just crushing it down the line, chirping them, and it's like I got real issues still.
That's good though. I like it.
Well, you can't change who you are, right? You still got to win.
You got to be able to flip that switch still, just know that you still got it.
Wow. And actually, that was one more thing we got to talk about. Your new thing. There was the bouncy wave, which like my son went out on the ice. Actually, we just watched it on YouTube, and he goes out with bouncy and does the wave with the fans. And now you got a thing where you skate really fast and jump into the glass, eh?
Yeah, that started in Fehervar too with the
Twix.
Owner of the rink kid.
Twix and running into the glass. That's come with you.
Running amok on the glass. So originally when I got here, like someone told me like, oh, you're doing the bouncy wave. I'm like, I can't be doing that.
You're not Ben Bounds. You don't even have a tramp stamp.
Yeah, I can't, I don't want to be comparing myself to that guy.
No, a whole different person. And he's got a tramp stamp.
Yeah, well,
Do you have one?
No, I do not.
Okay, fair enough. Go on.
Sleeve and a back piece, but that's about it.
Oh, that's you doing the normal man tattoos, not the low back.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Okay, well, goalies are different. I don't know what you guys are doing. Goalies are weird.
If he's got the good body, low back for it, that's fine.
He used to have a better body for it. Now he's getting too skinny.
So I was doing it with the little kids on our team, the boys' kids, like on the one side, and they haven't been there lately. So I just, maybe that'll be my thing. I'll just skate full tilt and try and take out the glass. Maybe put more work in for the maintenance guys.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I was just trying to figure out, like, if I would have been on the team and my kid would have been on the ice, like how he does that, because he would do the bouncy wave. But then I was trying to picture like my little kid running full speed and jumping into the glass, and I don't know how it works.
Yeah, the key to success there, from what I've learned over the years, is you got to make sure you get above the dasher.
Right, because that's a lot harder, right?
You go hip on dasher, you're not going to have a good time. But if you go hip on glass,
a little more give.
A little more give. Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, so you're going to make sure you got to get some air.
Yeah, you got to get those Air Jordans
What's
going.
the other goalie's name?
Taryn Cozen.
What does he do anything?
I forced his hand a bit. He had a really good game against Guildford at home here, and the crowd were going little crazy still, and someone needed to get out there, and it wasn't going to be me. I'm not
When you're
wearing my
not
hat
playing.
and
Yeah.
not playing. I'm not. I'm just a
You
cheerleader.
don't jump in the glass when you're not playing.
No, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a cheer for the boys, and
you're there for Taryn.
yeah, I'm
Is
there
that
to
his name?
support my
Taryn?
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
no, you're just there for support at that point, right?
so I pushed him out there, and he did his little thing. And
what'd he do?
I think he did got the fans going this way.
Oh, he did the bouncy thing, like with the.
Yeah, like started low, got it
Yeah.
going high.
Right.
Which is a pretty common thing for Europe, I think. Like, there's not really much more you can do as a goalie.
Well, there are things you can do. There's definitely things. I've seen goalies do things in Europe. Like there's guys. There was a guy that could do like cartwheels, right? Like he would do cartwheels, and then but then he would do a cartwheel and then right into the splits, like on the ice for the fans, for the boys.
A quick split, so maybe that's his play. Maybe he skates fast, split save. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I think if he skated and like went into the splits between the blues, whatever you want to do, Taryn, it's up to you, but you got to do something.
Maybe get a little slap shot, little old school slap shot, strip tease in the middle. Who knows? Legs and eggs.
Who knows? Legs and eggs, boys. That's just hockey. Just got it. You got to do it for the fans. Okay. I got nothing else for you today other than you're still doing it. You're living the life like I used to get to live. And when it's over, she's over. And I haven't left Bruce County in like 2 years. And you get to live all over the world. You get to do all this cool shit. So make sure you appreciate it, eh?
Love it. Yeah, we are absolutely enjoying ourselves out here in Cardiff. Can't say enough about the town and the organization. Obviously, we've touched on, but just the people here. It's almost like little Canada, right? Like you go around, people are actually smiling at you, not like Eastern Germany. Like people are smiling, having a great day. It's sunny here. It's rainy here. People are just out doing stuff. It's great.
One thing I've always, it depends where you live and what town you're in the world, but like people that don't know each other in Cardiff, Wales, like they say hi to each other. They're like, "Hey, how are you?" Or actually what they say is, "You all right?"
You okay?
Yeah, well, yes, I'm all right. Why am I not all right? But they at least are talking to you. They're not just walking by you, looking at you like, what's he up to? They're like, "You all right? You all right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm all right. How are you?" But at least we're all chatting and they're all smiling and they're all having a good day, right?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Like I left the rink. I told this to Todd and the owners when they're here. Like I left the rink the first 2 weeks. I don't think I've had a bigger smile on my face playing in Europe before those first 2 weeks. It was just, can't believe this is where I'm at right now. It's just great.
Well, and it takes going to a place like Weisswasser to really appreciate it. Sorry, Weisswasser, I don't mean to talk this poorly about you. I know you're trying to recruit players every year, and I'm sorry.
You're giving them heat the whole time. I'm trying to help them out a little bit here.
Yeah, no, and you do have passionate fans, and it's just, Cardiff, it's just a better place, right?
It's great here. I think it's perfect size town, honestly.
It really is, and you're in the Bay, so that's what I'm trying to say to you is appreciate it. Appreciate what you're doing, because when it's over, it's over.
Yeah. That'll be, maybe co-hosting a podcast. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Whatever keeps you in the game and keeps you a part of it is like, you're a hockey guy like me. You're a competitor. You want to win and you want to be a hockey player. And yeah, this is how I found out how to be in the game 5 years later,
Yeah, that's the goal, maybe hopefully 5 or 6 years down the road, stay in it somehow. But
you got lots of time left, big guy.
Oh yeah. As long as these hips and groins and knees stay together, I'll be dialed.
Yeah. I think what we should really get started is maybe like the Cardiff Devils fans could kind of design some kind of a new tramp stamp for you, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We get it. We win the league. I might get one. Maybe not a tramp stamp, but
Wouldn't
I'll
go
get something
back though,
somewhere.
right? And maybe we'll clean up some of the hair we talked about, and then
Yeah, like maybe some laser hair removal, and then like a nice little piece somewhere.
little something, right?
Botox, laser hair removal. Then we'll talk about some tramp stamps.
You've just brought back memories though. It's like when I was in Cardiff, there were fans that were like, they were wanting Dougie Clarkson to sign like a piece of paper because they wanted to get his signature on their body. And it's like, you realize Dougie's like only playing here for like a year, and then he's gonna leave, and then you're gonna have his signature on your body.
Well, there's been like Cody Lample in the DEL. He's got a few, like he's like tattooed fans.
He has tattooed fans.
I believe so. Like either he's tattooed like the tattoo like parlor owners, like with his signature or something like that. I've seen him on his Instagram is wild. But
And
like,
that sort of stuff, like when we were in the big blue tent in Cardiff, which you wouldn't even know about, is like there were fans that were like you can do it. They wanted Dougie to make a signature on his body. And yeah, the passion that those fans have, and then you got Todd and Katrina taking care of everybody. Like it's a recipe for success, right? And then you got the city with the bay, and just too much to do, too much fun to be had in Cardiff.
did Todd do the intros when you were here?
Like when we would come on the ice
Yeah.
to Nickelback, Burn It Down or something.
Nickelback.
He would, yeah, no, he would be like, "Welcome, Cardiff Devils." Yeah, he would do that. He would be the
Put your
microphone.
hands together. Oh
That's
yeah.
right. Oh yeah, stripper voice. Todd has a stripper voice when he does that. For sure, he does. Yeah,
Oh,
he's at Legs and Eggs. It's when he's
welcome to the center stage.
welcome to Center Ice. It's your Cardiff Devils, folks.
Oh, first game I heard that, I'm like, that's Todd, and he's like pretty good. Like,
Oh
he's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like there was a time in his life that we don't know about that he was like, "Welcome to the stage, Destiny. Please bring your toonies and $5 bills to the stage." Okay, and this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Macker and Wally.